Hi guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be doing a story time of how I got to march down Main Street in a Disney parade. So let's get into it. So to start off, I'm going to be giving you a quick background on why I was there. So basically I don't know if I said this already, I went with my marching band, my school's marching band. They go every 2 years to Disney to do this, and it's really fun. It's basically just you go for a long 4-day weekend, you room with 3-4 people, like your friends, and you just go to the parks and have fun, and then you just so happen to do the parade, which is like the main reason you're there. So I know that some schools fly down or drive down. We flew down, and then we the hotel is basically just this outer hotel, which I think all these schools stay at, unless, I don't know, maybe some of the richer ones don't. They might stay in the parks, but we just stayed at an outer park one. I forget what it's called. It was a really nice hotel. I loved it. It had free breakfast. The lobby was really nice. The rooms are really nice. Would recommend it if I could remember what it is. So there's that. And basically we just would hang out in the parks. We went to all the parks. We got to go to all the parks. We went to Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom on one day, the Magic Kingdom and Epcot each full days, and then we went to the water park half of the day, and then we flew home that day. So that was fun. We did have to meet the school at 1 a.m. to go there, and then we got back to the school like after flying home at 1 a.m. and they were like, you should be in school in the next few hours. I didn't, because my parents were like, you didn't stay home. But yeah, that was that. Every school might be different. They may not make you go back to school, and it also depends when you go to. So we were in there, and like some schools were just landing and stuff, so it just like all depends on what your schedule is when they put you. So I'm gonna go into depth on that day of what happened. So what we do is we go to you would go to Magic Kingdom, just hang out with your friends, have lunch, ride some rides, and then after you have lunch, you have to go to the Golden Horseshoe, which is right across from Petro's Bill. I did go a bit early just because I was nervous. I didn't want to be late. We did ride some few rides. We did Big Thunder Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, and we had a fast pass for Haunted Mansion, and then we also had lunch too. So it was like we got a couple things done before it. So we met there, and then once they got the okay that everyone was there, we went backstage right next to Splash Mountain where all the parade starts. So we went back there, and it was really cool. So what it is, it's basically a path through the woods until you get to I think it was a gate, and they had to like put us in, and basically it's just a bunch of warehouses, nothing too special. There were some cool things that I saw, like, you know how the camel was out, like at Aladdin, it was gone for refurbishment for quite a while. It was back there. I thought it was just an extra until I was watching a Team Tracker video, and it's like, the camel's still gone. I was like, I'm an idiot. So we ran past that too. I can't believe I didn't notice it. But trying to think what else was back there. There are a few parade floats. There are a lot of holiday seasonal ones I saw. There were a lot of like snow Christmas houses. There was it's a magic mirror one that I think might be used for Halloween, which was cool. And then what we basically did was, I should clarify this. Before we went to backstage, they told us put our phones in our pockets or our bags, and they cannot come out. If they came out, they would probably would have been kicked us out, and we would have had to just watch the parade with the band moms. So there's that. So what they did was they basically put us in this little area where it was like they do all the performing arts stuff. If you go follow the path I told you in Google Maps or whatever, you can find like the overhead of it, but it's really cute. It's like in walls, and one whole wall has a bunch of old posters and stuff and pictures of like Walt Disney and the Sherman Brothers and like the Main Street Band and stuff, so that was really cool. And then they had this little photo op area and the band takes a picture. We did that after we were all ready. It was a big parking, which they had, the bus came in through, so we could get like stuff out and like just in case anyone needed to go in case of emergency. I don't really know why the bus was there, but like the trucks were there with all their equipment. So basically there was, saying basically a lot, sorry about that. There were these trailers, I think they were, or whatever, put together this big building. So it's basically like one big room, enclosed room, and like an overhead, or like an open room with a roof or whatever is open on one side. So the big open room was divided into 3 areas. One was a girls' changing room, one was a boys' changing room, and one was a director's changing room. And it was basically covered by curtain. The directors, I don't know, they might have had a wall, but like the boys, between boys and girls, I know there's a curtain because like girls was on the far side. But boys, we knew they had a curtain because we could, it was a curtain. And they rapped the entire time we were changing. The entire time. Even after we watched. I'm like, we marched in 90-degree heat. How do you have so much energy? But there's that. And then the outside of that was that overhang thing where they had a bunch of Walt Disney quotes about music painted on the wall. And then they had banners that were all like quotes from like Rapunzel and like Journeys to Imagination with Figment. And they're like benches too. And like a little podium. And then there was a band leader Mickey statue, which was really cool. It was actually quite funny. It was so big that I don't think the whole band could sit at once. I remember some kids were sitting on the Mickey statue like base, especially after we got like all our instruments out, because we just left the cases there on the stools and seats and stuff. So we went in there to take a quick break. So we went in, there, changed in the changing rooms, came up, warmed up with their music. They had water there, which they were like, drink the water. There were a few instances where I've gotten sick at like band camp and stuff because it was so hot. So the director actually made his way to me to make sure I was drinking enough water. And I was like, yeah, I had a few cups, I'm good. So we did that, and then we all lined up. They distributed these hats, which are super cool. So we all put them on to march in our uniforms. So yeah, and the directors even had them. They wore suits, and then because all our directors are guys, so they wore suits, and then they had these. It's funny, 2 of them put them on and like ran to each other with like bowls. So that was fun. And then we basically waited there until it was ready to let us out. And then we also got to see, there's like a little gate with all the characters on it, but like you could see through it. We got to see them setting up stuff for Festival of Fantasy, which is really cool because I've never seen, that's the first I've seen Festival. I have seen it now, but I've never seen it before, so it's really cool. Like the first time I've seen all these floats in person was like up close in person. So walking out, we did then go walk out. So walking out, we had, we didn't have, like, rows. I think on the far right side, I want to say, because I remember walking out next to floats. They had floats lined up, 2 on each side. I think one side was Ariel and the princess one, and then it was Rapunzel and the Mickey Mouse final one. So I got to be next to the Rapunzel and Mickey Mouse final one while walking out. We had to like wait for them to open the gate and stuff. So then we went on our journey. So the basic marching was kind of hard because you know how on Main Street they have those little indents? I was keep on twisting my ankle on them. I was set in a position where I had to walk on them. I don't know, I think I was on the far right, maybe in the middle. I really don't know where I was, but I just my ankle. But besides that, it was really fun. They had all the not all the characters. They had the Country Bears from the Country Bear Jamboree out, like the Big Owl and like the normal ones who were out before Festival of Fantasy. They were out and watching us, which I got really excited because I saw them. And then they also had Chicken Little and the girl from Chicken Little. I don't remember her name, but they were in like the front of Main Street, which was really cool. It's really fun too, because all the cast members were like dancing and stuff. It's a really fun time. We were playing, I didn't mention this, just remembered it, the Mickey Mouse March. That's what you play. Some bands I think do more, because the sheet they give us had like supercalifragilistic, expialidocious, and zippity doo dah on it. So I think it's just like up to the director. We probably just did one because we learned it in like a week, but that's that. So we did march down. We took the route of the parade route, the Festival of Fantasy parade route. My parents were on Main Street, waiting for me. It was really fun. I have to say, it was the first time I realized you just see the Contemporary from Magic Kingdom. That wasn't a bit distracting. And then the castle, so before this trip, I hadn't been to Disney in like 3 years. So, and then that trip we just ran right to not to Magic Kingdom, to Pirates of the Caribbean. And like, we didn't go near the castle. I didn't see the front of the castle up close. So the first time I saw it was that moment. And I almost started breaking down crying. I was like, wait, you have a job to do. And it was so fun, so nice. It was really nice because everyone in the park was just stopped and was watching you. Like, you felt like you were like a Disney performer, which I guess is why they do this, to like get more and more people into being a Disney performer. So then it was so fun. I'm just thinking about it. It was in May of last year and I'm still like about it. So then after we were done, the route that we had to take back into the backstage area we were at was basically the one that like you see the floats going to, which was really cool because I always wanted to be in there. And it's basically just that building that opens up and you go in there. It was nothing too special. It was like a pathway. There's a pathway and a street, a road, and you just followed it. And it was really funny that we were like, it was all trees, so you really couldn't tell us on this other side, but we were walking, and all of a sudden I hear animal sounds, and I'm like, I think that's Jungle Cruise. So when I get back from the trip, I looked it up and followed the route we took, and it was actually Jungle Cruise. So I found that really funny that like I was like behind Jungle Cruise, and I was right. So we just went back, changed. They were like, thank you. You could keep the hats because they were all sweaty. We were, and I think that's all we got. I don't think we got anything else. We just got the hats. They let us out. They had to recheck our bags to make sure we didn't steal anything from the thing, because they had like posters and stuff in the dressing rooms and stuff, so they did that. And then we had to essentially wait for everyone to change. Like the taller girls, they had these tight outfits on, so they had to like peel us off basically of their bodies and then put on their normal clothes. So that kind of took a while. So what they did, which was really nice, was one cast member went and brought the people that were already out, because they didn't want us to get stuck behind Festival of Fantasy and have to wait so long for it to be over. They just wanted us to get out and enjoy our time in the park. So we went out. It was really fun. Then we went out, and me and my friends went our separate ways and went on Carousel of Progress because I was sweating, because the uniforms are green and black, because our school colors are green and gold, but it has to be black because the other side of town is green and white, so we had to like differ, which I don't understand why. But we went, and that was fun. That night we did end up we watched a show every night on that trip, so that night was Happily Ever After. I started crying. It was the best day ever. And like I said, I'm going to be most likely going back next year, and I think I'm gonna try to vlog it. I don't know, but I do know that at least one girl in the band did vlog it. So I watched that one, and she just did all in one, but I think I might just do days. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.
To be our guest, our command is your request. It's been years since we've had anybody here, and we're obsessed with your meal, with your ease. Yes, indeed, we ain't too pleased. While the candlelight still glowing, let us help you